Hello and welcome to yet another cube draft. Interesting pack. Channel is obviously broken, but I think green is usually the worst color. Bitter Blossom is pretty good. As a Stormcroak Noblins in raid, so we could go mono red, which I think is fine in the format, but not that great. And I don't like playing those kind of decks anyway. So channel, I think channel is actually the most powerful card. Channel, Bitter Blossom, something like that. Bitter Blossom, that deck that won the last cube draft. I want to say yesterday, but you don't know when this is recorded. So, yeah, in the finals was a pretty good deck, but I don't think I can replicate it that easily. Although I do like Bitter Blossom. Is Skull Clamp in the format? I think if Skull Clamp is in the format, then Bitter Blossom has to be the pick. We can just go to. Now I'm gonna go Bitter Blossom. We'll see. We didn't open any power. There was a lot of black in that pack. There was Desecration Demon, Grave Titan, and so on. But we get Sword. We get Tolarian Academy, Vampiric Tutor, Poacher, Goblin Guide. Like I would pick Goblin Guide if I had Stormcroak Noble, but I think I have to pick Sword of Fire and Ice here, right? Given that I just picked up a Bitter Blossom, and just go cheap creatures. With some control, lifelink, meh. There's also Lingering Souls, which generates more tokens, I guess. There's Hellrider, but I already passed up a bunch of reds, although it is pretty good. Not a big fan. Hellrider seems better, or maybe Lodestone Golem. Maybe just Lodestone Golem and keep my colors open. There's nothing else here outside of Lingering Souls, obviously, but I think it's a bit too expensive for what it does. I think Lodestone Golem is just too strong. Plus, it slows down our opponents often enough, and it keeps our colors open, obviously. When I went of the keeper and there's a battlefield, there was a lot of red apparently. There's also Hippie, which I don't dislike, but having to pay 3 mana for a 2/2 flyer, I don't know. Plus it stops my colors, so maybe I just jump into red. Although there isn't a lot of red here, just this one. Blue is obviously cut, which is obvious. There's also green, but as I said, I'm not a big fan of green. I think Hippie has to be the better card here. That or the Abbot. How often am I gonna cast none? I'm gonna go with the Hippie and stay in the colors. There's Go for the Throat, there's Master of the Wild Hunt, there's Cackler. There's also Monotite, which isn't that bad. But I think Go for the Throat is a better card. Although it doesn't really do what I want my deck to do. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell... Oh right, this one? Yeah, this one has to be it. I was like looking, wait, I recognize this card. It's a recent card, so that's why I don't recognize it immediately, but I heard it from a friend who's like, this card is played in Legacy, it's so good. And if you read what it does, it's understandable that it's so good. So now I do need some non-creature spells. I already have to for this to work, but like even if it just works once or twice, that's pretty good. We get a second sword versus Dotsies. I think given that I play tokens, I want second sword. Definitely wouldn't have minded Dotsies though, or Insult Angel, or Fate's Feathers, or Kata even. Like mono red would have been fine. Like if the guy to my left is red, he has what he wants. So I want the third sword. Maybe as a sideboard option. There's also Braids or Smokestack even. I don't dislike a card like Smokestack with the Bitter Blossom. Or even a Port or Banisher Priest or a Sword. Is Braids better than Smokestack? I think. Wait, these are 8 cards remaining. I'm gonna go with the Smokestack and see if the Braid wheels. Wow, 4 swords, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go with this sword over the Feast of Famine, I think. Fire Knight and War and Peace are probably the better one too for an aggro deck. Feast of Famine is obviously fine, but these two are better. Wow, could have had 4 swords. Like, no one likes creatures in this format, I guess. But I do need to pick up some early drops. Dark Confidence would be huge. Didn't see it already. Do need some control as well, given my colors. I can still splash this. Like, this does not mean that I have to be white. This does not mean that I have to be black either. Desecration Demon Wheels, Stormcloak Noble Wheels. Maybe I jump into red. Like, the fact that this wheeled, it should not happen. I think it's better than Desecration Demon. Yeah. Let's see if the Goblin Guide is in the next pack. If it is, then red is way open. It should not be. It should not still be there. Wow. Can I even say the correct words? And pack. Okay, not. Like, there was a bug in the last final where I mulliganed and I was like, wait, I get a scry? How on earth do I get a scry? Turns out, you get a scry. I think Revoker is fine. The Goblin Guy didn't do, by the way, so I'm not gonna pick up the Sacred Foundry. Although I could, like, I could still splash those. But I think having a Revoker 2-1, being able to shut something down from my opponent is a bit better. I do want early creatures. Like, apparently they changed the mulligan rule. I did not know that. It shows how unaware I am of the current meta and the goings in Magic. Like, I've really been out of the game. I sold everything anyway, so there's Lingering Souls. I think I have to pick it up now, given that I am actually in those colors. There's Isolated Chapel and Seeker of the Way. I don't think Seeker of the Way is better than Fix. At this point, this is sideboard. Mana Tide definitely in deck. The card is a bit too good. Because it's so unexpected in my colors, right? Suddenly I'm countering things. Yeah, they don't see that coming often. And then there's Exalted Angel. Sure, I'll play it. It's a 3-drop anyway. Honor of the Pure. Sure. These are black though, so it's not that great. These are white, right? Yeah. So we have 6 creatures, 7 if you count Bitter Blossom as well. Sure, I think that's fine. I mean, it's only the first pack. The second pack shows us not much interesting. There's a Theomancer, Geist, Oblivion Ring, Soldier, but that's gonna wheel, and Dismember. So Dismember never wheels. Theomancer is really good against me. I could play Geist if I can get blue, but there's not a lot of blue wheeling anyway. Soldier I wouldn't mind. I think I have to go with a Theomancer, but I'm already so heavy on this. Maybe just Dismember. Have something as a removal card. Pick Dismember, hope this wheels. This will wheel. And that's it, right? I don't think there's anything else in this pack that I actually want. But I have to have a removal at one point. Dismember is a better one. So there's Doomstalker, which is definitely strong. 5th sword. No, I'm not gonna go for it. There's Journey. A Mirror Angel is also pretty good. Maybe a Mirror Angel is better than Doomstalker. It probably is. There's also a Sulfuric Vortex. Wow, there's gonna be a pretty strong red deck. Do I pick up a Mirror Angel here? guess so. Sure. There's a skull clamp I want. Definitely slamming that. Like, there's no way I'm picking anything over skull clamp with the deck I have. The card is bonkers. Just drawing cards. Hero is obviously fine. I have no clue what this does. Oh, that's a pretty cool thing. Reviarch is obviously fine, but there's no way I can pass up this one. And again, there's a Lavamancer. Legionnaire, I guess. It's a 2-drop, which I definitely need. There's also Revolt, but I am not going into those colors, so. And then we get a Student, which we definitely want. There's also Shortfang and Prowler, but I think Student is a bit better, given that it's actually a 1-drop. And it becomes a 3/3 first striker. Marsh Flats, hope that wheels, maybe Uno's Prowler wheels, maybe Nezumi Shortfang wheels, but nah. Student of Warfare, it is. So I'm forcing this a little bit, I think. Maybe I should have jumped into red a bit sooner or just went for red, but there's Mother of Runes. I can't pass up that card. I think it's a bit too strong. It blanks a lot of removal, it pushes through for damage, and so on and so on. It is really good. Caracas might wheel, but I don't think that really matters. So yeah, black seems to be my splash here. I'm basically mono white with a splash to black. Still gonna play the smokestack. I think Grades did not wheel. Someone else seems to be going heavy in the black, so I assume a Geomancer isn't gonna wheel either. It shouldn't. Like, the card is pretty good, but in these colors, like white and then black, you're so heavy on trees so often. I didn't really want that. Guess it has to be Fiend Hunter. I'm not a big fan of it. I would have preferred the Banisher Priest, given that it's a 2/2 compared to a 3/1. Oh, 1/3. Just was 3/1, damn. Slamming. But yeah. This one isn't that interesting for me, so. Scavenging is obviously strong, but I'm not in those colors. Dismember and Porcelain Legionnaire aren't in here, so this is a 2 and this is a 1. So this is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3-drops, which is still fine. Could have had 4 swords if I wanted. I could have had all swords. Like, how insanely strong is this format if you can get all 4 swords? Like, Flicker Wisp is obviously strong, but you can't pass up an Elspeth. The fact that it gives flying creates tokens for the Skull Clamp, and pluses in all of those, it's huge, and it's a Planeswalker, so. And Soldier wheels, as expected. We get a Soldier over the Geomancer, which is understandable. Like, I think if I was black somehow and see a Geomancer, like, I'm picking it. I played him Elastic as well, as one of the only creatures. Like, it's just so good. With an aggro deck like this, if you have to live it at least one turn, it's such bad trade for you, and the longer it stays, the more annoying it becomes. Now, obviously, do have some flyers. Sword wheels, but I think I'm gonna go with the Doomstalker. There's no reason for me to pick the sword over Doomstalker. Right? Yeah, there's no way. This is way better than having a 4th sword while I'm only playing 2. We get Reviarch. It's a Revelark, right? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it here. I guess Huntmaster is a stronger card against me. Maybe I'm not playing this. It gets this back. Oh, well, it does get some pretty strong cards back. But we'll see. I mean, we already have 21 cards and we still have an entire pack to go. Like, maybe Lodestone is gone. One of these is gone, I don't know. Probably not. Monotite. Gotcha. It's probably one of the most annoying cards to play against, right? Like, you're playing against the white black and then all of a sudden they're like, mana die too. But you do expect it out of these decks, like I expect it out of these decks. But often you just can't afford playing around it. Which is understandable. Hope Hero Wheels, like, was it this pack or did it already pass? But again, it's such a strong card that it shouldn't be wheeling. Short Fang Wheels, sure. It's a 2-1. It's a 1-1. Edict is definitely a pick. It's a 1-1. Yeah, Short Fang isn't gonna make the cut. Like, it's just a 1-1, and the fact that I have to invest mana every turn makes it too expensive for my deck. Like, I don't want that to happen where I have to pay every turn. There's balance, which I guess is the only pick here for me. Gatekeeper, but there's only balance, to be honest. And how often am I gonna play it? Let's just as a recall, but again, I can't play it. I'm not in those colors, I'm not gonna splash for it. Like, if it was an earlier pack, I definitely would slam it, but I can't here. And the guy next to me is gonna be really happy that I passed him an Ancestral. Wall of Omens, maybe, but it's just not gonna cut it. Like, I don't think I play this either, but it's more likely to be played. We could also pick up a Lightning Helix. Nah, I'm gonna go with the balance. It's just too strong. Talia definitely has to be the pick here. I don't see what else I would want out of this pack. I would hate draft this, pick up this I guess, but it's not that great. Maybe pick up this. But Talia is just too good. And probably not playing the balance, but we'll see. Like, given my deck, given that I generate so many tokens, I think balance is just not good enough. Well, it's obviously a pretty strong card, but it's gonna be my downfall compared to my opponents. War Priest of Toon, Angel, but there's also Gideon and a dress. So War Priest destroys an enchantment, which is fine. Angel is too expensive, I think. Gideon is probably way better because it forces him to Alpha Strike and then allows me to Alpha Strike. Plus it's a 6/6. There's also Duress. Is Duress better than the Gideon? Neither of those two will wheel. Especially not given that Duress is the only black card. I have nothing against cards in my opponent's hand. Tati is already passed. I'm gonna go with Gideon. Might be that Duress is just a better pick there. There's a Grave Robber, a Batter Skull, Spectral Procession, which is okay. Armageddon, I might pick up that one. And there's Recurring Nightmare. I don't think Recurring Nightmare actually works well enough in my deck. Like, I have the Reveillard combo. But that's about it, right? Although we do generate a bunch of tokens as well, but what are we bringing back? Our creatures aren't that strong. It does provide us with a strong late game, but I think it's a bit too much of a fancy play syndrome. It's also Batter Skull, which is obviously good, but we do not have the Mystic. Might come, but who knows. Maybe Armageddon is just a way better pick here. Play some early creatures, slam Armageddon, win the game. Yeah, Armageddon has to be the better card. Although in this format where I have 0 mana acceleration and a lot of people are gonna have others. There's also Brimance. Again, token generation over Scrubland. I think that's better, yeah, despite it being a 3-drop. Yeah, Archangel, Tidehollow Scholar is a Maru. I have no clue why I discarded it in the format. 3/4 flyer versus 2/2 that allows me to exile things versus a 2/2 and turn 1. I think I'm gonna go with the Tidehollow. Scholar. I do want something to control my opponent's hand, and this is somewhat likely to wheel. Then we get a Stoneforge Mystic, definitely slamming that one. Now wish I picked up the Barra Skull. There's a Griserbrand, which would mean I would have wanted the other one. Why would I even play that? There's Tanglewire, which is obviously a good card. I think it's a bit better than Mesmeric Fiend. Definitely not playing any of the others. Moat is obviously pretty okay against me. Here I'm gonna go and hate the Kabul, because that's the better card against me. Yeah, sure. Like, I'm never gonna play Wallop Omens. Might not even play the Edict. Sin Collector versus Puppeteer. Think Sin Collector for the sideboard against controllers decks. Also didn't see a lot of green. Someone is gonna go mono green, I think. And the matchup against me should be fine. Maybe I'm not gonna play the Revelark either. Revelark. I have no clue. So many cards. We need to cut 7. Wow. If I had Barra Skull. I think it's my entire deck is a bit too slow to set up though. Yeah, don't put a lot in the way of my opponent. Like, I don't think I want this, because I have this Membrane Fiend Hunter. We get War Priest and Boros Reckoner. The Reckoner is good, but I want the War Priest. My curve like this looks fine, but I definitely need to cut cards, so... Spectral Possession, sure, although, again, not gonna be played. Unless I just splash black. Like, if I splash black, cut like Hippie, Tombstalker, play Honor of the Pure. But I want Bitter Blossom to be castable. Yeah, Honor of the Pure does look pretty good now. Izumaru. So we play Honor of the Pure. Obviously, still keep those in, but like, do like this. Just play mono white. I think that's a bit better, right? So then we still have 6 cards to cut, yeah. So non-creatures, Monetite. Fact that you need to do it like that. Tangle Wire, Sword number 2. Dismember is a 1-drop. Personal Legionnaire is a 2-drop. Lingering Souls, well, it counts as a creature, to be honest. Elspeth is not a creature, Gideon is not a creature, this is a 3-drop. So yeah, my curve looks pretty sweet. I think I want War and Peace and Fire and Ice over Feast and Famine. Having the untap and making my opponent discard isn't gonna be that great. You could also go mono white and just cut a Bitter Blossom, but so there's Smokestack and Armageddon is also not a creature. So we play 16 creatures. Maybe we can. I think we can only cut 1 creature and mainly need to cut here. Which would be like Armageddon, Smokestack. Bring those in against some decks. Mainly the controllers decks. And Armageddon against a non-accelerating, I guess. So we're at 27, so still 4 more cards to go. I think I have to keep Tanglewire. Maybe Gideon and also bring that in. Like, And we can still cut one creature. Well, we can cut two creatures because this counts as as a creature in my book, but not in this book. Against Soldier of the Pantheon isn't that great. And War Priest of Tomb could be a sideboard card. Sure. I can also cut a Revel Arc. Like, I don't think there's too much that I want from the Revel Arc. We could also play 16 lands, but with the Skull Clamp I don't think I need to. Like, I want plenty of these just because of me having Monastery Mentor. Now I need to play 17 lands because of me playing black. Given that I play black, I actually want one more, I think. I have 13 white sources and 5 black. Oh yeah, okay. I was like, that adds up to 18, but it's because of the dual land. Oh, they added everything together again. I think this looks fine. A bit disappointed I do not have any power or acceleration. Well, I do have balance if I want to, but Spectre Precision might actually be good enough, right? Let's put this there again and this there again. Spectre Precision now actually looks way more interesting than before because it's just a 3/3 flyer for 3. Which might be better than some other cards like the Revoker. Plus with Honor of the Pure it's a 6/6 flyer. Like, it doesn't become 4/4, it's a 6/6. I think Spectre Possession has to be in the deck now. Given that with Skull Clamp it's also draw 6. We can cut like the Lodestone, but I don't know. These are white tokens, right? Yeah. Maybe I just got Bitter Blossom. Go mono white, be like, nah, I don't want any mana issues. But Bitter Blossom is just so good. How many 1-drops do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 basically. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess I'll go with this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I hate cutting. I guess the Fiend Hunter, like, 1/3 just isn't gonna cut it. I should be able to overpower my opponent's creatures, and if I don't, I already have lost the game, I think. Plus I can punch through with a bunch of flyers. Okay, I submit, and I'll see you guys for round 1.